It would be, as you can see in the poster or in the file I'm sharing, is that 7:30 skateboarding. So let's say I put this activity on the server, and then it pops out on top of my profile, and then people nearby can see that I created an activity.
And maybe we should change so just a tiny suggestion. Maybe we shouldn't sort of put a real time on it, but sort of in half an hour. You know, so because everything is a meeting, right? So just changing the word into like in 45 minutes, I'm going skateboarding, so that it becomes a countdown timer or something like that. Yeah,
pretty much. I mean, it's going to be live tracking as well. So you can enable your location and then you see, oh, this guy is right next to me. So why not let's go skateboarding, and then you can chat with him. And pretty much.
Anything from the room?
I mean, this applies for the coronavirus, but also for future.
Yeah, of course.
It should be only for the pandemic.
And it's based on a learning experience right now, I think. How you are dealing with your friends.
And maybe only one person can join, right? So instead of like 3, because that's illegal right now.
Yeah. So depending on the measures, then you have limited spots that you can join. I think that's actually a pretty good opportunity for an application.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Every country, a different type of number of people.
How intelligent is your lockdown?
Yeah.
Thank you. Can you stop sharing the screen? Let's go to Britte Timmermans or her group. Let me go. Are they here?
Remember to record, Janus.
I'm recording, I think.
Yes, we are here.
So, hello. So you can see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, your minute starts now.
So well, we thought, like we both experienced it often, that we wanted to go to in our case, to Albert Heijn. But then there was a problem because we were not motivated because, as you can see in the pictures, it takes lots of time. It's boring, awkward, and very chaotic. So we were looking like, okay, but it could also be on the other side. And it is also your trip outside because, well, nothing else you can do otherwise. And so it can be exciting or more of an adventure. So on the next slide, you see our design statement is that we want to design for people waiting in line for the supermarket to give their must visit to the store feelings of a fun trip. So we were thinking, okay, in the solution, it could either be like an exposition for artists or an interaction games with QR codes that you can do together, or making it like one long line of sports activities. But our favorites were like a calm nature adventure line, so that you would have plants and the nature sounds, because we were talking about that this morning. The
nice
feelings of nature, and that you can either choose that one or the more active one with like dancing music and the disco vibe and all that kind of way, to be sort of going into motivated into the store. So that involves all the steps. So either by doing that by going down to earth, or with active outlet, and it doesn't feel like waiting anymore.
Very cool.
Very nice, very nice, and makes life much more easier.
Yes.
Which was part of the design assignment. Very nice again.
Well,
I saw on Facebook somebody say, "I'm gonna put out the garbage. What clothes should I be wearing?" So something like this, sort of everything becomes an event, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Very cool. And so that is a physical thing, or is it just sort of a spiritual thing? So I could imagine like headphones being sort of the part of the.
Yeah, so maybe it's really there and everyone hears it, or it's a headphone. But really maybe like a tunnel.
Oh, tunnels.
Yeah, or just outside, but then with lots of trees and plants and everything.
Cool.
Or disco lights and more of the party experience.
Nice. All right, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Anything from from the chats? No.
No.
You want to say something, Chelle?
I mean, like I can really relate to this one, you know, like just a couple of weeks ago I went with my boyfriend dressed up like yeah, hippie I was no hippie hippie police, and then we went I mean that's something that doesn't really make sense, and yeah, we went to the supermarket and people laughed at us. So that was fun. It was just yeah, it's an event, you know.
Yeah,
it was good.
Nice.
Yes.
So now we go to Laila de Blok or her team for the best isolation dating experience ever.
Yes.
Are you there?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm gonna open it up. 1 minute. Ready when you are.
Post quarantine.
So we were thinking about all those sad, lonely people out there who are single right now and will definitely stay single, and we wanted to help them. And we were very inspired by 2 programs on Netflix. One is Too Hot to Handle, and the other one was Love on First Sight. So what we did, we made a combination of the both. The first thing you do is sign up. The second one is you go to your, step 2 is you go to your isolation meeting bubble. So you both have your own bubble with a little tunnel in between you cannot enter. And as you can see, we form inspiration for something else, some other treasure you cannot always enter. And then we have step 3. It's kind of like an escape room. So you have to work together with, like you can talk to each other, but you cannot see each other. And you have to work together to get into the tunnel in the middle. And then when you kind of worked out the escape room, you can, yeah, meet your future love with a little barrier in between and fall in love and meet, and then have the physical contact stuff after the whole quarantine. So yeah, that's our thing.
I'm really impressed. Really impressed.
Thanks.
Yay, Laila. But I have a question. How did you end up be inspired by a bra?
No. So actually, Paula drew it, and I was like, it looks like a bra. We put it in there.
I didn't see a bra in it, and I'm a psychologist, you know. So.
I told them that it was a little bit abstract.
Yeah.
I saw the bra. I don't know why.
2 abstract bubbles.
The isolation meeting bubble is an inflatable, right?
Yes. So once the pandemic is over, you can just deflate it. But of course, it's a great experience when it's not isolation as well.
I was looking at these before the Corona thing started to put into my garden as sort of an inflatable thing. But yeah, cool. There you can buy them on AliExpress quite cheaply as sort of a party tent.
There is a question.
Oh yeah.
Can it be scaled up as an amusement park?
Yes,
We are open.
course.
We are open.
And we are open for all financial backers. And yeah,
gonna
if
be a
you know
Kickstarter.
anyone, set us up.
Looking for sponsors. We already contacted Tinder. And tell them, like, sorry guys, we're going to lead the market.
Nice. Time to make a startup, says Yaman.
Yes.
Do that. Wonderful. Ji Yun Ying.
But girls, you girls, like I think you are 3, and there is another.
Gabrielle, yeah,
Yeah.
But you have a lot of possible consumers here, you know, like I think if for now it's the first one, the first project that had so much engagement.
Everybody recognizes the problem, I guess.
All right. I wonder if there were going to be more divorces or more kids born in 9 months, stuff like that. But yeah, we'll see. All right. Thank you so much, Laila and Paula. Ji Yun Young, are you ready? You were alone, right?
No, I'm with Elizabeth, and Elizabeth is gonna do a presentation.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's good. So then you get 1 minute.
Yeah. Do you see and hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfectly.
Okay, nice. All right. So then we have a minute's time.
Yeah.
Nice. So basically, the topic we choose is how we can deal with our mood. And we did the first brainstorming, which is the second slide, and we wrote down keywords which were like solutions, how to deal with negative thoughts, like labeling and categorizing thoughts in negative and positive thoughts, so you get better understanding, and somehow to try to visualize them. Can you stay at the second slide for a moment? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, don't worry. And also just to get a better understanding of the thoughts inside your head, and be able to track down negative thoughts, which lead to like a chain reaction of negativity. So in the third slide, we were thinking a lot about making some kind of diary, but decided to make instead a game because people don't like to write. So we tried to find the gamification solution. Yeah, we had some inspiration. And the last slide shows our solution, which is basically a game where you take notes of positive and negative thoughts, and at the end of the day you reflect on them and try to understand what's happening inside your head, and just take it away so it's gone once you understood the thought.
So basically you slide them up and then they stay up.
Exactly.
And then at the end of the day, you can sort of shuffle them down again.
Yeah, like at the end of the day, you have, let's say, 3 negative thoughts, and before sliding them down, you reflect why were they negative and where they're coming from, and also for the positive ones. So you really visualize, did you had a good or negative mood, and why is it this way?
And you play it yourself or in company?
For now, it was playing alone, but I think you can do it in company. It might be nice to have somebody to communicate with and press it with someone.
Nice. A nice psychological game, I must say.
And habit forming, that's a thing, right?
And I think that the nice thing is that if you see that, you know, like you have some unbalanced day, it would be nice to also keep it as a sort of a journal every day of, you know, what was higher, if the positive or the negative. Yeah. Then you can, you know, think, okay, well, you know, this week I noticed that, yeah, many of my negative that were, yeah, mostly negative moods. I need to do something to.
Yeah, and you can reflect on your personal changes as well.
Yeah.
During a week, for example. Very, very, very nice.
Can be some sort of stamp in your in your journal, right? Sort of like every journal entry has like a calculus.
Yeah, we were thinking of maybe making it trackable or not, but we decided to keep it, like, to really make it invisible at the end of the day. But I think there are like different ways to approach it.
Yeah, no. So what I'm suggesting is to sort of take that and then physically press it on your physical journal, on your bullet journal, and then you have, so you can choose to do that as sort of a remembrance of that day.
Yeah, that's a good point. Nice.
So it's your choice. But yeah, I like that. Habit forming for the win. Thank you so much. Then we go to Living in the Same Room by Lisa Stevens. Are they there?
Yes. This is Pino. I'm going to do the presentation.
Sure. So 1 minute starts now.
Yes. Our idea for during quarantine is atmosphere. And the idea is that you have a switch in your room with which you can set 2 different modes. So a working mode and a relaxing mode. And it is based on smell, sight, and hearing. So you can preset a smell in your room for when you're working and for when you're relaxing. You can have a light setting, and you can have a playlist for both different moods. And the idea is to consciously switch between those 2 tasks, but also train yourself during a period when there's no quarantine. So then when a new pandemic happens, you're already used to these sets. So when you're in your room all day, you can switch between them. And for the smell, we thought of having a smell of library books that you can have in your room. so that it feels like you're sitting in a library. And for example, in a relaxing mood, you could have cinnamon or the smell of freshly mowed grass or cookies, so that you can relax. Yes, that's it.
Yeah. Philips Hue would be most grateful for this, right?
Yeah, exactly. The lights, the whole light part of the idea is exactly what Philips Hue is about. But
And then
this,
add a bit of
That's the movie you sent me, Janus. The
No. Philips Hue is the lamps you can buy that change color.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Because it reminded me a little bit of the movie you sent me.
That was by Rose, and is she in your group? Yeah, Rose Visser was in your group, right?
Yes.
I was in Tinder's group as well.
Yeah, and she shared the video of CGB Grey. I also put it on the materials, and it talks about sort of your home being a capsule, and this sort of makes that, and the rules for that. That's quite good.
Yeah. Very good.
I actually
had
I had a colleague, like when I was studying, so that's like 30 years ago, who did the Conferentiekamer, which was a conference room with atmospheres. So you had an atmosphere for a deepening conversation or a creative conversation. And you also had smell, audio, and lights in there. But
is it especially designed for students? For student
no,
rooms?
that was
or
in Kurhaus for hiring a room for meetings.
No, but this
we'll never be doing again.
This design, the atmosphere, is it designed for students?
We didn't really think about that, but I think it's most applicable for students since they both sleep, work, relax in the same room. Usually.
I think the CGB Grey movie also sort of focuses on not students, but sort of people alone, no families, because I don't have all these issues that he's talking about, like rhythm and cool.
Yeah, very cool.
Let's go to the next one, and that is where are you? Oh man.
I'm free IDE submission, I think is the next one.
Bas Verstegen.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm free. Bas, are you there?
Hello. Yeah.
Hi, Bas. 1 minute starts now.
So I missed the spontaneity in my life of like walking around the faculty and meeting people and just getting coffee or lunch out of nowhere, things that weren't planned. So I thought in the most used chatting app of the Netherlands, WhatsApp, just add somewhere for your profile that you can tap to say that you're free for calling or meeting or friends, and then you can see in your contact list who's free and who's not, and call your friends.
Great.
Yeah, thank you.
That's it.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like the notion of spontaneity in some way, and actually, Twitter was started like that. So there was a status message in MSN Messenger. And there is, of course, status in WhatsApp as well, right? But nobody uses that.
Yeah.
So maybe we should be using status for that.
Yeah.
But
nice and simple and very social.
I like your codes because the design is sort of it's not like a modus, but it's like you tap through different moods, and we can all sort of decide what is what, right? Yeah. Cool. And not much to say about that, right?
Simple and clear.
Yeah.
Simple and clear.
Exactly.
Then we go to procrastination by Pim Verhoeven.
Yes, I'm here.
Yay. Nice to see you. Schrödinger.
Yeah, our product is the Schrödinger Social Control. Big Brother is and isn't watching you. And this is because the procrastination, we didn't feel the social pressure to work sometimes. So if we go to the next slide, we have two different versions. One is the physical reminder and one is the digital reminder. For the physical reminder, you can just have a block on your desk that turns a certain color. We got the inspiration from long distance relationship bracelets that light up if someone thinks about someone. So then you know that someone in your group is working on the project. which will motivate you to also work on that same project or something else. But it doesn't end there, because you have also the digital reminder options that your computer can light up, you can get a phone notification, or it can be integrated in Slack maybe, Zoom, that you have a large group of people that maybe or do or do not listen and watch you, and you can have the Philips Hue lights that change color if a pair is working on something. And the next one is a visualization of how it will look. Thank you.
So it's thank you. Little brother is watching you, right? Sort of we're checking on each other.
Yes.
On our work status. Cool. Yeah, this is one of those things. Isn't that there already? So there's the Good Night Lamp by Alexandro de Champs-Sauciso, somewhat like that. But she has a Good Night Lamp that sort of is like that bracelet. But yeah, cool.
Yeah, but are you not afraid that people who are using such a device are a little bit they feel controlled? Or?
Yeah, it came from the notion of the library, that someone could be watching you that you're not studying, but you can also it's kind of the social control they can and can't be watching you.
Okay, nice.
Very nice.
Yeah, we're going to be moving on. So Elisabeth, how can we deal with our moods?
No, we did it, Janus. We did it.
We did this one already.
Yeah,
so why deliver it twice? Oh man. Back to the submissions. So Zoom working the room, Marcia. Anybody from that group in the room?
Yes.
Go.
Yeah, so everybody who tried hanging out with like a larger group of friends through Zoom know that it sucks. You have one big static conversation, like one person is talking and 19 people are listening. So the solution would be Zoom working the room. It's a video calling tool that sort of imitates real multi-person social interactions. So it would be like being at a party, walking around, talking to different smaller groups of people, while still being in like the same bigger room.
Can you move the like basically can you move yourself within the groups instead of like joining rooms, etc.? Just drag
so it's more dynamic.
Cool.
So
you can wander. You can wander around like at a normal party. You mean?
Yeah.
So that's interesting. FaceTime has this solution where everybody who talks slowly grows and stuff like that, and everybody hates it. If you have a group conversation, they sort of bubble up and bubble down instead of coming to the front. But this sort of the idea that you could be moving around and then you hear people.
Yeah, and there's sort of multiple conversations happening at the same time, and you choose where you want to join, and then some
house party should be doing this, right? House party should be doing this.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah.
I've never seen the app house party, but I think maybe Zoom will be interested in your idea.
They've put a feature freeze because they're only focused on security right now.
Okay.
As they should be.
As they should be. But House Party can do it for. Let's go talk to them because they could use it.
Let's talk to Marie.
Yeah, Marie Beljaars.
And thank you.
Thank you, Marcia. It was really nice.
Yeah.
Short and nice.
Right. So I will be doing the presentation.
Yeah.
So our focus was on working in online groups. And what we noticed is that most of the questions are about how you could notice that a coworker is not feeling well or is very stressed or frustrated. And the meetings on themselves can be very stressful as well. And it can be difficult to see this over a screen or a chat. And people could also be scared to talk about it or find it awkward to interrupt the meeting to discuss this issue. So our idea is that at the beginning of a meeting, you start by sharing your mood as your background. So you don't need to actually discuss it, but you can physically or visually showcase it. So in the example in this poster, you can show that you feel bored or very happy, that you're hungry and you would like to have a lunch or a break, that you're very peaceful or very active, for example. And so this way everyone can see how you feel and they can decide to talk about it or to maybe take an extra break.
Yeah. Cool. So
And
your mood is
how
Zen.
does it work, the extra break?
So depending on the kind of moods that you fill in, if several people in your team are very stressed or hungry or don't feel too well, it could automatically suggest an additional break. And it could, depending on how many people request this, several breaks could be offered by the program itself.
Can you also follow the mood changes in someone's mood?
Yeah, so the idea is that you could always change your background as your mood. So you don't need to interrupt the conversation or stop it. You can just showcase it.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, extremely cool. So you're Zen right now.
Yeah, very peaceful.
I can see that. I think the transitions from Zen to other moods could be interesting. Where are we? Final two by Lei.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Shall I share my screen?
No, I'm sharing it.
Okay. Yeah, this is a very simple application just to help improve the education quality in the social distancing period. And our idea is like, because we all talk about procrastination and we feels like the best way to avoid it is just to make a plan. So the first function of this application is making a plan. And we do feels like create some kind of group vibe, help us to deal with procrastination as well. So the second function of it is just to create a group for yourself, and you can just add your friends into it and you can like work as a group. Yeah, and the third function is it's quite tricky. It's like a Facebook or Instagram only for study. It's for creating some kind of a peer pressure. If you see somebody is studying, then you will know like it's time for me to study. Yeah, that's the idea.
So you basically, it's like when you're like in the library, right? That everybody's silent and on their books. And then you just, and then you're like, okay, I need to really study now.
Yeah, but it's very much a motivational tool. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Of course, people will, there's like, I found a thing where I could put my phone into and it would swing automatically on AliExpress so that my activity would be high.
Yeah.
Something like that. No, but I get this.
Yeah.
So I want to be,
It's basically recreating a little bit of the library in your house. So so it's nice.
So then we have Arun Akela.
Yep.
Arun, hey.
Hello.
Hello.
Are you're solo, right? So I'm giving you 30 seconds, man.
Yeah. Okay. So I looked at the different sticky notes that people have put up, and it basically boils down to 4 different problems that people have. So I did some reading to come up with a context on this, and the people who work by themselves also face the same situation as we are facing now. So this is not something new, and there's a lot of research done previously on this. And going to the second slide, I've come up with solutions for 3 different problems. I couldn't find solution for one. But my final design would be that creating an app that combines all these 4 solutions. It would be an app that would limit the amount of time someone spends on social media per day. And it will also be a calendar and a to-do list that helps a student to organize and prioritize his tasks. And for motivation, there's an interesting TED talk that I've seen that shows that the reward system that we usually use to motivate ourselves doesn't really work. And how you motivate yourself is by thinking about a higher purpose. So why are we doing design? So a couple of minutes to reflect on this every day in the morning gives you really motivates to work. So my design was the app to combine all of these solutions, but I didn't have the time to create diagrams.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why you shouldn't have worked alone, man. No, that's okay.
And how do you find the interaction when like you have to think about this higher purpose? Is
I don't know. I did not have time to think about it.
No?
I spent all that time
think about it now. Think about it now a little bit. Some free associations.
It could be a little questionnaire that the app saves, and by the end of a week or a month, maybe you could compare your own answers.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I saw, but this is totally not related to you. I saw Koosje talking, I think, about the other Zoom plugin with working the room, like 10 million times better than the breakout rooms. I think so, but I think if you actually have it, then it just might not work. But I think it's a good thing to explore. I'm going to continue with Victor.
Yeah, thank you, Arun.
Thank you, Arun. So Victor or team, are you ready?
Hi. Yeah.
Hey, Victor.
So yeah, we looked into the problems of us during quarantine time, having difficulties in scheduling our time or also communicating with friends. So we came up with Quarantine Crew, which is kind of like a social media / communication application where everybody makes an avatar, and that avatar displays what kind of live status you're doing. So for example, I'm sleeping or I am studying. So you can communicate to your friends what you're kind of doing and if you're free for a talk or an activity that you can do together. And there's also a part of the app where you can share schedules and also get feedback from your friends. And also maybe can introduce some competitive elements in there. So we can keep to their schedule as best as possible, basically.
So a new kind of calendar for a healthy schedule.
Yeah.
It's nice if the if the sort of it's like an outside expert telling you what you should be doing, right? An outside voice. So you can say, I'm sorry, I cannot do lunch because my expert tells me I need to. So I cannot do this because yeah. Cool.
It's about discipline.
Yeah.
Stimulating discipline.
Yeah, but Victor is introducing experts for the discipline. So an outside person tells you need a break, right?
Yeah, we are better experts than friends, right? So
yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, not for you. You have evil friends, man. No, okay. So let's go to Yen Heng, or do we need to? Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Victor.
Thank you, Victor.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
So my concept is about negative thoughts and in the same place, and I think maybe we can do that in a package. So maybe like maybe you were supported by IKEA or something, and you can choose a curtain and you can choose both sides of the patterns, so give you different vibes. And also you can choose some plants that can put your bedroom. So yeah, you can swipe down and then you receive a box. And then
with all the
and based on the size you input in the application or website, they give you a stick and the size of the curtain, and then you separate your room to 2 spaces so that you can feel more like into different emotions. So maybe we can see that we have a plans or we have a more material stuff, like maybe a structure from the building or something, and maybe that is for more for people to focus or feel calm. So maybe that surface is facing to the living room, so make you feel more focused or more like in a working zone. And when you go to your room, it's more like a plant. It's more natural, more comforting, and give you a lamp. Yeah. And
yeah, very
basically
nice.
it is my
Very
idea.
clear. And the essence is just shower curtains with 2 sides printed, right? That's basically all you, that's all you need. So let's put that into production.
But
Thank you, man.
cool. Yeah, I can really relate to it, you know.
I mean, the plans, I agree with that as well. And maybe instead of making it something you buy, maybe something you can change as a subscription, because we all need subscriptions, right? And then it goes to somebody you know. Well, yeah, we're there, man. Thank you.
There's some connection with atmosphere as well, I think.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So it's up to Koosje now.
The second one. Is
the second
right
one. Of course, I clicked the first one. Sure. There you go, Koosje.
Thank you.
Oh, am I going there? No, where am I?
Problem. Well, plugging everything you're using into the same output.
Where are you? Where are you?
Noise or hum issues coming from
I killed Koosje. What?
No.
Wall socket.
This one, right? No, not that
the
one.
latest one. Yeah,
this one. Oh.
No electricity.
There you are. Boom.
Mentioning it is because it's something.
Yes.
Yeah, there's the monkey.
So we thought of the procrastination application because we feel like people often feel guilty about procrastinating. And although it might not be that beneficial to your actual work, it can be beneficial towards your mental health. So the procrastination application is something that you install on your computer and your phone. And when you're working and it detects that you're using YouTube a lot or going on Facebook or constantly checking your WhatsApp, it shuts down all your working programs such as Word or Google Drive or anything, and it forces you to actively and effectively procrastinate for a set time. And during that time, when you are forced to watch your YouTube videos, your 9gag, your Reddit, your whatever, you can also see other people, friends who are at that moment also forced to procrastinate. And after the set time, all your screens that have YouTube, WhatsApp, everything like that is quit, and everything that's related to your work pops up again, and then you're going back to work again.
Oh, nice.
That's
the
what you
Pomodoro
hope.
timer for improductivity, right?
Yes.
It's a kind of a classic teacher, I think.
It's me. No, I think what is interesting is that you sort of reward it, like having. So we should also have a procrastinate curator here, that sort of gives you the best curated procrastination materials.
Yeah.
That's also what we thought. What if you just decided it's because also you're working and then all of a sudden you're kind of like working but also watching YouTube videos at the same time. So we want to more divide that into not doing something effective and doing something effective. And then also if you are forced into that procrastination, we're like, I just wanted to start the work. Then you're like, okay, well, I'll watch this YouTube video and then I'm going to get back to work. And then
yeah, I'm thinking that the bit.ly iDiscord thing by what's that guy's called? By Study Association IDE tries to sort of get this atmosphere, right? A place to procrastinate in a useful way. In some way, right? With all their stuff. Yeah, interesting.
It reminds me a little bit of our movie night.
Yeah, that's it. So that was
not ours. Infuse.
Yeah, Study Association IDE.
Study Association. Sorry.
Yeah, that's what I was referring to as well. Yeah. Nice. Oh, am I? So where am I at now?
I lost you. Sorry.
I lost myself as well. Submission date.
5043.
Yeah, so helping in remote Opa eats alasne jurado.
Opa eats. Opa is the grandma in Dutch, right? Or
Granddad.
Yeah, Opa.
Yeah, hi.
No.
Can you hear me?
Yes, and see you.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So how would you feel if I tell you that you have no food left at home, you can go to the supermarket, and your internet doesn't work?
I would be desperate.
Yeah. Well, this is a situation that many elderly people are facing. It is dangerous for them to go outside, and as they're not familiar with technology, they don't have ease of ordering online. For this, we have IDE, an errand system that allows elderly to easily get into hazard-free contact with individuals willing to run errands for them.
Yeah.
How does this work? Well, your grandparents call our contact center, and an employee will listen and write down exactly what they need. The employee then connects with an errand runner who delivers the order to your grandparents. With IDE, we're taking technology back a few steps to provide easy interaction for the OMAs and OPAs to get what they need when they can't go out. So join us in this journey where by means of the community, we can all get through hard times and make the best out of them. IDE, the outside world, just a phone call away.
Very, very nice. And why don't you call it Oma Eats? Because Oma cooks normally in normal times.
We're only Italians, Vittorio.
Yeah, I know. But very, very, very nice idea.
Thank you.
I think when Erwin Blom was there, he had the Help app or something like that. And that was sort of like that for neighborhoods. So local people helping each other. And there's, of course, the red scarf outside your home, or something like a thing you put outside your home as a signal to let you know that you need help. But of course, let's get OPA on the internet.
But the name is very nice, Opa Eats. I mean, it's yeah.
All right, last one is Faye from Belgium. Someone else from that group.
Okay.
I'm sorry to say that I'm going to be presenting, so not Faye from Belgium.
We're happy. Sorry, Faye.
Go for it.
Yeah, go.
So we came up with LIT because we find that we don't finish our to-dos in time, or that we just push them away from us until we have to work evenings. And that's what we don't want to do during this time. So we created a pin board for our to-dos that gives you physical feedback and works your senses. So every time you have a to-do, you put it up on the felt board, and then the light becomes lighter. And every time you finish a to-do, you pull one of the thumbnails out, put it in the cork, and the light becomes dimmer. So the more thumbnails you put in, the heavier it becomes, and the more you think, all right, I have to work, my desk is lit. And to make sure, can you scroll down a bit? To make sure that your schedule is all right, we have an app which says what time you wake up, what time you do lunch, what time you end your day, so that if you have a few to-dos left after 5 o'clock, you don't have to sleep in a well lit up room because the thing is still on. And we do this to make sure that you keep productive during the hours that you are supposed to work, but you don't work during the hours that you shouldn't work.
I really like this. I think I would. I can also relate to the fact that you normally have always some tasks to do at the end of the day that you're like, what do I do? Shall I do it now or tomorrow? And normally for me, it's always tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
It's why do nice. Today what you can do tomorrow, hey?
Yeah. But I like the light effect and the beamer. It's the beamer. Sorry.
Yeah. Very nice.
Yeah, thank you so much. We've gone through all of them, and I have recorded this part, I think. I don't know. Did I record it? I don't know.
Masha is saying that gewonemensen.nl has a similar thing that Opa Eats had. So maybe, guys, if you feel bored you feel that you have a lot of time, maybe you can still join de geboden.
Yeah, so helpen or hulp nodig. So yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and so
As a hobby.
yeah, there are many initiatives like this, but yeah, the atmosphere can change it a lot. So this is cool.
Yeah.
Ik help. Boom.
Yeah.
That's nice. Hulp nodig. So you type in your name and you leave a help. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm still recording, says Koshi. That's nice. I hope you don't mind.